Call of Duty Warzone. Is it a good game, or is it a game just to pass time? Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Within this video I'm going to talk about the truth about Warzone. So this is a new series talking about the truth of gaming, of individual games that I'm currently playing, and I'll talk about the truth about this game. What I mean the truth is, yes, it's going to be my opinion, but also mainly the community's opinion put together. And before you spam the comments, I didn't cover this, cover that. If you watch the entire video, I probably will cover every subject that you're thinking of. As in my last video, in The Last of Us, the truth about that game, one person absolutely trash talk in the comments, and I replied. Obviously, you didn't watch the whole video. But going back to the main subject, the truth about Warzone. I'm going to talk about topics that most players come across when playing Warzone. They love it or hate it. And within this video and in my last video, I wanted to see if you can actually tell if I love this game or hate this game. Now, the gameplay that you are seeing is either recorded gameplay when I don't have any face cam, or actually from my live streams where you do see a face cam. Now, if you actually do want to watch me play this game live, I'm always live streaming, so if you do subscribe to the channel, you'll catch me when I do a live stream. When Call of Duty Modern Warfare first came out, it was just a multiplayer mode, which is absolutely fantastic. I loved it, especially upgrading my weapons and the new modes they had and the ones that we already know. Yeah, it's just a great game and a new feel to Call of Duty. And we all knew in the horizon that there was going to be a Warzone or Battle Royale type of game coming with it. Because the previous Call of Duty Black Ops, they had a blackout mode, which was Battle Royale, which was very popular, and I absolutely enjoyed this mode. Now, when Warzone first came out, I was absolutely surprised that the game was free, so anyone could play it. It didn't matter if you bought Modern Warfare or not. You may have got a few more perks if you did purchase a game, but Warzone was free and anyone could access it. And most exciting, it was cross-play, so anyone could play it. I could play with anyone who has got a different console to me or on PC, so everyone was playing together, so it was great for the gaming community. And that's where I stopped talking positive about cross-play. Before I continue on about cross-play, let's just look at the modes. The two main modes that the game has is Plunder, where you got to get the most cash, and also Battle Royale, which we're all familiar with. Now, Plunder, I don't really play it that much, but it is so enjoyable. I may not get the thrill that I get from Battle Royale, but just coming back with my loadout, shooting loads of people, upgrading my guns. I'm actually not bothered about trying to become number one, but that's probably the way I play. But the way I treat Plunder, and I think a few people do, especially my friends, is we use Plunder as a bit of a practice mode and a quicker way to upgrade your guns. Because in Battle Royale, you may play for a good 10 minutes, not see anyone, see someone die, and we didn't get that much upgrading. So if I can actually give a tip to anyone when playing Warzone, play on Plunder, get used to shooting, upgrading your guns, and getting to know what guns work best for you, and I'll talk about that later on. Now we have Battle Royale. They have brought different types of modes with juggernauts and other types of ways we can play Battle Royale, but we all know Battle Royale is a solo, duos, trios and quads. And that's one thing I can't get my finger on. Why do people love Battle Royales so much? It is such a simple idea, but it's only lately come along with gaming. Yes, everyone's going to argue which was the first Battle Royale, Fortnite, PUBG. There's lots of different contenders, and I think we all probably know which come first. But at the end of the day, there wasn't much Battle Royales going on. And this is why I actually do love Warzone. This is all on age dependent. PUBG, I actually haven't played that much because it is mainly a PC game, then came to console, and when it came to console, you actually have to pay for the game. So that kind of put me off playing PUBG. Then we had Fortnite. Fortnite, it was great when it first came out. Then you realise how much of a game it is for kids. Yes, I know some adults are going to go crazy. I love Fortnite. That's absolutely fine. It's good for different types of people. But for me, and maybe a lot of people, I like a bit more realism instead of building a wall around me when someone shoots. So this is where Call of Duty came into play. More realism with battle royales. Realistic battles that you would have in real life if there was a battle royale. I hope there would never be one. But the reason why I do like Warzone and other battle royales like this is I can actually control what's happening in the game. How I shoot, how I take cover, not building stuff around me, and using other gaming mechanics that is more realistic to the real world. Now I do have to take my hat off to Activision and Call of Duty that how they've kept the game so interesting over the time it's come out. But coming now with a big negative: crossplay. Crossplay is probably the most frustrating thing I've ever come across. Firstly, as you knew, I was excited for it. Then you discover what crossplay really is. Firstly, let's go for the elephant in the room: hackers. Coming across hackers is one of the most frustrating things, and it makes you want to try and quit the game because you think, what is actually the point when you come across these people? And by these people I mean absolute low lives that spend money to cheat at a game. Wow. But I could go on for ages about hackers, and there is still hackers in the game. As much as they try to deal with the problem, it is very frustrating. Even if you don't come across a hacker, you know if you've been defeated by another player if it's on PC. Now, we all know how superior PC players are towards console players. Firstly, with the mouse and keyboard, mouse is literally simply point and shoot compared to an analog stick. Keyboard to buttons are much closer to hands with the keyboards, and especially with the settings PC players can get. They can change their field of view to see you more clearly. They can also change their click rate on their mouse so they can shoot quicker. And in the end, you actually think PC players that don't hack do hack, and it's so frustrating. So what I do, and probably most people do, and I advise you to do this if you don't do this, if you play on console, is just turn crossplay off. The amount of games that I have won by turning crossplay off is a big difference when I had crossplay on. It's a fair playing field then. Everyone is on the same boat as you, can have the same reactions, and it is all dependent on your skill how to win the game instead of actually who has the quicker reactions with the keyboard and mouse compared to a console player. Going on to my next topic is loadouts. Guns, 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 guns. Wow, what a confusing system guns are. Some people say this gun's good, some people say that gun's good, this has been nerfed, that's been nerfed. So it's actually quite very difficult to find which is the best loadout. Now the one thing that frustrates me about YouTube is you have big YouTubers saying this is the best gun. So I'll go and change my loadout to that gun, I'll go and play with that gun, and I don't get any results. Then they say this is the tactic you need to use with pin rotation, how to go this way, how to go that way, how to go overkill and be more aggressive. I take their advice, I use it, and successful in some areas but not all the time, and it doesn't actually get me the win. And this is the most frustrating thing with me when playing Warzone. Everyone wants to be the best. Of course you do, it's a competitive game, I completely agree, but it actually sucks the fun factor because you are so competitive, you want to win, you want to have the best loadout, you want to have the best tactic to guarantee you get that win. Then you get to a cold reality when you die when you get near the final circle or maybe in the top 10, and you wonder why. You think you've done everything right, and then suddenly something takes you down, and it's so frustrating out of all that hard work you've done because you rely on information that's given to you. But one thing you need to realise is these are people's opinions. Some people, yes, are pro players, so they get paid to play this game or get sponsorships to play this game because they're that good, but the reason why they're that good because they play a lot of hours and just generally good at first person shooters. Now for some reason, like myself, I think in my head I'm one of them type of people, which sometimes we do need a reality check, which we're not pro players. And I've actually discovered this the hard way. I've used every advice, don't get any advantages, then I just play more relaxed when I'm not live streaming and I get results, because that's where I experiment what my tactic is, and I experiment what my loadout is. Now I've come across lots of different weapons. Yes, the growl has been very useful for me, but then I realise sometimes it's not. Then I try and find a new weapon, then find a new weapon, and well, currently I'm just using the Scar. Now I don't recommend you use the Scar, I use it because it's got high damage, lowish recoil. It does have recoil, but because of the high damage, it plays in my strengths, because I watch these pro players how they can move so quickly and take people down with fast fire rate guns and move to the next person. That's good for them, not for me. And this is the biggest advice I'm going to give within this game. Try and find your own tactic, what works best for you. Don't go and follow everyone's opinion, because as I said, I followed these opinions. Be more aggressive, go for overkill, or be campy, go in the middle of the map and wait till the end game, and then that's not successful. You need to find what works best for you. Play out loads of loadouts, as I said in Plunder, what works best for you, and have a balance of a tactic. Is it be more aggressive? Is it be more campyish? I know it's a word we hate using, but sometimes we may have to do it. As I'm rephrasing, this is the one thing I don't like about Warzone, is how it's actually become a culture, because we want to be number one. All of us want to be number one or better than our friends list. And this game has downright just made me angry, frustrated, angry at my teammates as well, which is obviously not good for me. But then you need to think about, it is actually just a game. But I can only really say praise about this game. Now, the one thing I enjoy about this game is how I can just pick up and play and kind of forget what's going on in the world. It is a game I constantly think about. I don't know why. I'm trying to think about what could I do next time, and that's what's good about a game, is that you're constantly thinking about it, thinking about, oh, that didn't work well for me, so I'm going to change my loadout, I'm going to do this or that, I'm going to have this lethal, I'm going to have this tactical device I could have. There's lots of things you want to try and do to make it better for you, and think about tactics, where we're going to drop next time, or how we're going to approach the game. And just that pick up and play mode, as I said, it's not, for example, like The Last of Us, I've got to carry on a story mode and get really into the game. I can just pick up the game, play, enjoy if I don't have such a bad game, and then put the game down and then wait for the next time I play and just enjoy it. And I think Warzone is the battle royale we've all been waiting for first person shooters. I'm not going to compare it to PUBG being a third person shooter, just for that first person shooter experience. Be more realistic within the world, how we can take down opponents. As I said, not comparing it to Fortnite, but it's that realism that we need. And it's good to have such a good game like this, because it then now splits the community. So kids can go and play Fortnite, adults can go and play Warzone. But you obviously do come across kids in Warzone, as I've had plenty of death chats as soon as I kill someone, a little kid screaming at me once I've got them. And the culture it's brought together with memes, clips, the videos are so good out there of, for example, top Call of Duty plays videos. You're just addicted to watching what other people are doing, and it's such a fun game just to get involved. And that's what games should be, fun, something you enjoy as soon as you finish, and having fun with your friends. If you like doing solos, that's good, and we all know solos is basically a horror game. But when you play with your friends, it is such good, because how you work together to try and get that number one spot is so rewarding, because obviously you don't have that opportunity in real life to have that much communication with your friends and working well with each other. This is all, if you're playing any of the team-based battle royales, all about teamwork. The truth about Warzone is it is a brilliant game. It has fun, teamwork, pick up and play. So play it, then you can forget and come back on again. But it's a game that constantly makes you think, what can I do next time, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to wrap it there, guys. That is the truth about Warzone, how we all think about it with hackers, the crossplay, but overall the enjoyment that we get off the game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next one. There he is. There he is.
Target right here.
Yes!
Winners,
Guys,
winners, chicken
first
fucking dinners.
Yes.
First
How about
game,
that first comeback?
game.
How about that first
Get in.
comeback? How